Sawona, Sanibonani Ekaya. Good morning, greetings to you at home. Today we speak about language, law, history. All these three things shape our dignity as a people. And so the conversation centers on two works today. It's English IsiZulu Legal Dictionary and Thesaurus, and the English IsiZulu Legal and Customary Dictionary. So for that, we're joined by Christopher Thulani Phewa. He's an author of the work. He's also a legal academic attorney. Joins us here as well as his son, Annalisa Phewa. Joining alongside to chat about the offering, taking over the legacy as well. Good morning to the both of you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Lizelle, and good morning to our viewers.
Baba Phewa, this is timely, this is needed. A lot of the time we've been participating in courts, but we've not been part of the legal language as well. And to understand what justice looks like, we have to have language as well for that. So your own journey in the legal fraternity, putting your thoughts to paper and coming up with these works. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Lizelle, the journey from courts is the one that opened my eyes.
Yeah.
Law has always been spoken in two languages, English and Afrikaans, for over decades.
Yes.
And then I thought, let's just unpack it so that at the end of the day, it is accessed by our people. Now, as a Zulu-speaking person, I said, let me be the first one to start translating those legal jargons, simplify them, so that at the end of the day, each and every one of the communities have access to the law. But in particular, I saw a big gap that in most of our people sink in courts, get convicted in courts because of the fact that whoever is taking the statement of that particular person is not glued into the legal languages. And therefore, I thought that the best way and the best way to contribute into unpacking and translating the English jargons to isiZulu will assist the police when they take these statements to write what they have to do. The interpreters in court, you find again that there's a presiding officer is, for example, a white person. The prosecutor is of Indian origin, and the accused person is black, and the poor interpreter did not have a chance to go to school, so to say, and get to learn about the legal jargons, because in court that's what is used. Yes. And then the interpretation gets wrong, and poor soul gets convicted. Similarly, I thought of also, there are lots of inmates in correctional services who aspire, in particular, to become lawyers. So let them understand the legal jargons in their own languages, let alone, therefore, it cascades down to the students, to the learners at school. Why should law be our preserve, which we find at university? Why can't law be spoken in vernacular, in indigenous languages across South Africa? I'm not talking about Zulu. I'm talking about Xhosa, Sepedi, Setswana, and Venda. So I said, then let me open the key and demystify it and make it accessible to each and every one of us.
Annalisa, you're listening to your dad, and the baton gets handed over. This is a project that's living, so it's continuous as well. And it's got family legacy, it's got history, it's important for our nation at large. What pressure or weight is added on you as you take on the baton as well alongside him?
I think each to his own. So it's a tripartite alliance, if you will.
Okay.
My great-great-grandfather translated the Bible into Xhosa. There's a gentleman called Tio Soga. Then on a parallel within the law, my dad is doing his own legal thing here. And within mine, I'd been working on Shakespeare translations, so that we're all coming together to do this work from our own different parts, and each is contributing and each has a mandate to bring people together in terms of language, understanding, meaning, what are we saying, how do we demystify these things? So as he does it with the law, I'll do it with Shakespeare, and the religious also was there. We're learning from this to say that as a people we do need to communicate. It's actually quite a useful resource for me as well, because I play a TV lawyer on LLB. Season 2 is coming out now, and I'm the face of this. So the lawyer that you see on screen, it's him. It's
Thank you,
literally
Baba Phewa. This works out so well for you. I actually even wanted to look at the legal and customary dictionary as well. It's not just a footnote. There's an entire book attached to it. We're looking at tradition. We're looking at colonial legal systems as well, the impact that would have had playing out in real time in contemporary realities as well. So tell us about the second edition.
Second edition, indeed, is to, again, to change the mindsets of our people. To know about the custom, to know about the fact that customary law plays its role again in courts.
Yes.
And not to shun away from the basic things that they ought to know about. We shouldn't look at the written norms in the Constitution and don't practice that. Give you a quick example. I'm touching on ilobolo. You know?
Yes.
People generally think that ilobolo is to buy the wife, tengumfazi, you know, and which is not the way it is. Ilobolo is to create lasting relationship between two families, you know. It must be understood in that context. There was no money of buying a wife. You cannot buy a wife. Women are, you know, our assets. They are our gold, you know. So you cannot. You hear a person say, your kilo ball, I am going to pay you, but it doesn't go that way. It doesn't go that way. You cannot, there was an exchange of cows when it came to that, you know. You would take the cow to Mnumzane, you know, to create to create the relationship between the families. And therefore, I'm touching on those things so that younger generations as well must know about where we're coming from with our customs. And that our customs also play a role in our courts. You know?
Yeah.
And also touching on the third one, because it has been a journey, you know. So a journey whereby initially, you know, I started with the documentary called Kill the Three Xhosa Lawyers. That was Judge Poso, Judge Square, Mqenge, you know. They were mentioned by name.
Yes.
So I wanted to create a documentary. But having interviewed them, I ran out of cash. And then, whilst I packed that, I got onto the English and IsiZulu Legal Dictionary so as to keep the memento of not only the three lawyers that were to be killed, but all the other lawyers as well who made a difference in my life and other people, you know, who are of value to me. But then the purpose in the second edition changed. While the objective is still the same,
okay,
to contribute to all that I've counted, but the purpose now changed. Purpose being this, that I'm calling upon the judiciary, the magistracy, the police, you know, correctional services, eThekwini municipality, Department of Arts and Culture in eThekwini, that when I went to the Mqenge household, it is in a very, very bad, lamentable, so to say, state of affair. Yet, that was our home. Yet, that was our home for everybody. And therefore, I am saying, and I'm making this clarion call, that the proceeds of the second edition will have to go to restore the Mqenge household at least into a heritage site. Because ever since the Mqenge siblings left the home in August of 1985, that was 40 years ago, they've never had a chance to go back home. And we say charity begins at home. They must be able at a certain point in time, together with their grandchildren, to point out and say, this is our home, this is where we were. You know, and so that will heal the wounds, not only of them, also of us as well.
Yes.
So that is, in a nutshell, the summary of...
Yes, thank you for speaking to the heart of the matter of these books, because that Griffiths Mqenge, I mean, we know what he's contributed from the legal fraternity for our people as well. And Elisa, I need to wrap up, but
absolutely,
beyond the book, into the broader South Africa at large, tell us why this is important beyond the courtrooms as well.
Well, for me, it's about the continuity of language, to say, how do we speak, what's our history, where do we come from, how do you use certain words. As language is growing, it's never static. So it's a resource from my father to myself, to my daughter, etc., etc.
Well, the story continues. It's a living document. And we know that these books remind us that justice is not only about law, it's about language, it's about memory, and it's about what gets understood. And so from father to son, you've heard it there. From past to future, this is not just legal scholarship, it's heritage in motion. Siyabonga kakhulu, Thulani Phewa and Alisa Phewa for joining us in this chat.